What if the reason you forget everything isn't your memory, but the way you study? You read the same chapter again and again, but somehow it disappears the next morning. Today, I'm going to show you a much smarter way to memorize. By the end, you'll know exactly how to study, remember, and review information faster. And the best part is, you don't need a perfect memory. You just need to stop using your brain like a storage box. Your brain works better when you make it actively find the information. Let's start with the biggest mistake almost every student makes. You read something, recognize it, and immediately assume you know it. But recognition is not the same thing as remembering. Here's a simple example that makes this incredibly obvious. Imagine you've seen someone's face several times before. You instantly think, I know this person. Then someone asks you for their name. Suddenly, your brain goes completely blank. That's exactly what happens when you rely too much on rereading. The information looks familiar because you've seen it before, but when the page disappears, you have to retrieve it. And that's where real learning begins. The first technique is called retrieval practice. And honestly, this one technique can completely change how you study. Instead of asking, does this look familiar? Ask yourself, can I explain this without looking? That tiny change forces your brain to work harder. Let's say you're studying photosynthesis. You read the definition once and understand the basic idea. Now close the book. Then ask yourself, what is photosynthesis? Try answering completely from memory. Maybe you remember most of it, but miss one important detail. That's not failure. That's useful information. Now you know exactly what you need to review. This leads to the second technique, the blank page method. Study one small topic for a few minutes. Then close everything and take a blank sheet. Write down everything you can remember. Don't worry about perfect sentences or beautiful notes. The goal is simply to pull information out of your brain. Then open your notes and compare what you remembered. You'll immediately see where your memory is weak. And that brings us to technique number 3, teach it. Pretend you're explaining the topic to someone younger than you. Use normal words instead of complicated textbook language. If you can explain it clearly, you probably understand it. If you get stuck, you found another memory gap. Go back, review that part, and explain it again. Now here's something most students get wrong. They spend too much time reviewing what they already know. Imagine you have 20 flashcards and know 17 instantly. But 3 cards keep giving you trouble. Those 3 deserve most of your attention. Think of your memory like a weak muscle you need to train. You don't keep exercising the muscle that's already strong. You work on the part that needs improvement. The next technique is spaced repetition. Don't study the same information for hours in one sitting. Learn it today, then come back to it later. For example, review it tomorrow, then again a few days later. Then test yourself again after a week. The exact schedule matters less than coming back consistently. And here's another easy trick, turn your notes into questions. Instead of writing answers, write questions you can test yourself with. For example, don't write Canberra is Australia's capital. Write, what is the capital of Australia? Now your notes have become a mini exam. And you can test yourself anytime. For deeper learning, use 3 levels of questions. Level 1 asks, what is it? Level 2 asks, why does it matter? Level 3 asks, can I actually use it? That third level is where knowledge becomes useful. And this matters even more for difficult subjects. For math, don't just reread how a problem is solved. Look at one example, then close the solution. Now solve a similar problem completely by yourself. If you get stuck, check the solution briefly. Then close it and try again without help. That's how you train yourself to produce the answer. Now let's turn everything into a simple 30-minute routine. For the first 10 minutes, learn one small concept. Don't overload yourself with an entire chapter. For the next 5 minutes, close everything and recall. Write or explain everything you can remember. Then spend 5 minutes checking and fixing your mistakes. Use the next 5 minutes for questions or practice problems. Don't look at the answer until you've tried first. Then use the final 5 minutes for one last recall. If you can explain it clearly, you're making real progress. And remember, good studying doesn't always feel easy. Sometimes the struggle is exactly what your memory needs. So stop judging your study session by how comfortable it feels. Judge it by what you can remember without looking. Learn it, close it, retrieve it, check it, and repeat. The next time you want to reread, stop yourself. Close the book and ask one simple question. What do I remember? If this helped, like, subscribe, share, and comment what you're studying next.